It's a rainy Easter Sunday here at Dahlia Mae's farm. Today I thought I'd show you guys how I make a swarm lure. It is almost swarm season and I thought I'd do a little walkthrough on this. These are the things that I use. I got a cup of olive oil, a bottle of lemongrass, 2 bars of wax, beeswax, 4 little jars, and a pan. And if you're going to do this in a pan, make sure it's a pan you're never going to use for anything else, because once you melt that wax in there, you'll never get it out of the pan. Now I do this whole thing in kind of a double boiler, just a pan with a little bit of water, and then another pan. I start by putting olive oil in. And then I set the wax in the pan. We're going to let this all melt down before we do anything else. And while I wait for that to heat up, I put 30 drops of lemongrass oil into a little container. It's actually closer to 40 drops that I have in there now. I don't think you can do too much lemongrass oil. As the pan starts to heat up, you'll know the wax will start to melt in there. Then when the wax starts to melt a bit, I use a little wooden stick. And I can stir it. I stir the lemongrass oil in with that. I'll show you how that goes here in a few minutes as this starts to melt down. You can see it's starting to roll the wax up the sides as it gets warm. It doesn't take a lot of heat. You definitely don't want to get it hot enough to burn that olive oil, or it'll throw a smell that is not going to be acceptable. It's coming along, but it's still not hot enough to keep the wax melted. It's just melting off the bottom of the pan. You'll know when you get it there because it'll start mixing with the olive oil. There we go. Now the wax is starting to disappear into the olive oil as this gets warm. The ideal consistency when we're done is about like shoe polish. It's almost all gone now. You can tell the consistency by the stick. If you run the stick under cold water and it sets up like wax, you've got it right. If it stays like oil, then you need to add more wax to it. And we've got this just right. It's just like shoe polish on the stick when we run it under cold water. So all the wax is gone. I've turned off the heat. I'm going to pour and stir the lemongrass oil into it. So I got the lemongrass oil in. Now I'm going to transfer it into jars. Give me a minute. And I have ended up with 2 jars, which is pretty normal. I just get backup jars in case something weird happens. Maybe I start pouring it in there and the jar cracks from the heat, whatever. I'll be back in a couple minutes after this sets up and show you what it looks like. It's only been a couple of minutes and you can already see it setting up across the bottom of the jar. There it is. It's all done. About the consistency of shoe polish. Then I put lids on it. I keep it in a dry, cool place. And I'll get more into how I actually use this. I'll do a video on setting swarm traps. If you guys would like to see that, comment below. And again, just to recap, all this is olive oil, beeswax, and lemongrass oil. I'll see you guys in the next video.